So I was on mile 440 of a 500-mile, 10-day bike tour, and I knew I was in trouble. I was out of water, I had lost my map, and my legs had began to cramp. So what was I doing? And why was I there? And was I out of my mind? And I was a little out of my mind, but so let me explain why I was there. It all started one day when I was at school and I was talking to my friend, and I was talking about all the things I wanted to do over the summer and all the things that didn't work out. And he said, why don't you go to Hawaii for the summer? And I said, I thought about it, and the more I thought about it, the more I realized how tough it would be and all the reasons it'd be hard. How would I have enough money? Where would I stay? And would I know anybody? And the more I thought about it, the more I realized I couldn't think of a single reason not to go. So I said yes. And that simple yes was the beginning of something really powerful. And soon I was in Hawaii saying yes to everything. You want to live in a treehouse for the summer? Yeah. So I lived in a treehouse for the summer. You want to go deep sea fishing? Yeah, I want to go deep sea fishing. I've never been deep sea fishing before. These rods are huge, the rods that I used. You want to go hitchhiking across the island to an isolated beach and watch the sunrise? Of course. And you want to do this? So yeah, I said yeah. And of course now at this point I'm getting excited of all the things I'm going to say yes to when I get home. And of course the first thing I'm going to say yes to is riding my bike, right? So I was talking to my buddy there, and I said, I want to ride my bike when I get home. And he said, oh, you should do that. Why don't you ride to Seattle for 50 miles? And I thought about it, and I said, yeah, but I can do better. So how about Oregon for 500 miles down the Oregon coast? And so there I went. So what does this have to do with why I'm here today? Well, as it turned out, the thing that led me to having such a great summer was the exact same thing that it takes to be a great student. And that's to spot the opportunity and say yes. I'm here tonight, just by saying yes, no, let me check through these. So, as an example, the other day, one of my teachers came up to me and he asked me, do you want to speak to my students, my freshman engineering students, about the mechanical engineering club and the jet engine you guys are building? And, of course, spotted the opportunity, and I said yes. And so I'm standing up there and I'm giving this speech to these freshman students about the importance of getting involved. And I realized that just 2 years before, I was sitting in their same seat, getting the same speech from somebody who I really looked up to. And it dawned on me that just by saying yes, I had become that person. I was that guy that I looked up to. Just by saying yes, I had become the guy that I couldn't have dreamed of being just 2 years before. By saying yes, I spent my entire summer in a tropical paradise. And just by saying yes, I'm here tonight. We had an opportunity to speak, and I said yes. And so when I said yes to riding my bike 500 miles down the Oregon coast, I was thinking what a lot of people would be thinking. You can't do that. I mean, that's hard. And it was really tough, but I did. And so what did I do? I rode my bike 500 miles, and it took 10 days, $20 a day, a change of clothes, camp wherever I wanted to. And when I sat there on that 440th mile with my legs in the air, draining the lactic acid out to try to relieve the cramping, I realized I had to say yes to the opportunity to keep going. So I did. And soon, 100 yards later, I was riding down the biggest hill that I had seen yet, with my hands just gripping the handlebars, wind pounding my face, and the biggest grin stretched ear to ear that you couldn't rip off. It was incredible. And I went from such a terrible situation to one of the best situations just by saying yes. And tonight, you all have said yes too. You said yes to going to college. You said yes to waking up early, to working hard for what you want. And you said yes to writing the foundation scholarship essay. You're all here because you deserve it. By receiving the scholarship tonight, we recognize that people are expecting great things from us. We recognize that we deserve to be here and that people believe in us, so much so that they're willing to spend their money on our education. So I'd like to take a moment to thank Annette Dong, who couldn't be here tonight, for believing in me and for endowing me with the Paul G. Dong Memorial Scholarship. I'd like to thank the Foundation Board for believing in all of us, the Green River faculty for being a great job at what they do, and for my friends and family for being there with me when it was the toughest. And yeah, the next time you find yourself in a 440-mile predicament, remember to spot the opportunity and to say yes.